Welcome back. In this class we will discuss Lagrange's linear differential equation and method for solving Lagrange's equation. First of all, see what is a Lagrange's equation. An equation of the form capital P into small p plus capital Q into small q equal to capital R, where the capital letters P, Q, R are functions of x, y, z is known as Lagrange's linear equation of the first order. Such an equation is obtained by eliminating arbitrary function f from a relation of the form f of u v is equal to 0, where u and v are functions of x, y, z. And this concept is we have already studied. That means whenever an arbitrary function f of u v is equal to 0 is given, where u and v are functions of x, y, z, the corresponding element PD can be written in this format: P plus Q is equal to R. And that is a first order equation. The general solution contains, that means f of u v equal to 0 contains only one arbitrary function, so we can expect a first order partial differential equation. Hence, if we know u and v, solution of Lagrange's equation is f of u v is equal to 0, where f is an arbitrary function. Or we can modify the above solution as u is equal to phi of v, where phi is an arbitrary function, or in the same pattern v is equal to psi of v, where psi is an arbitrary function. Now see how to find the solution. The general solution of Lagrange's equation P plus Q is equal to R in the format f of u v is equal to 0. So the main thing is identifying the independent solutions u and v. To solve this equation, it is enough to solve the subsidiary equations dx by p is equal to dy by q is equal to dz by r. And these subsidiary equations are coming from the partial differentiation of the general solution f of u v is equal to 0. So you have to by heart these subsidiary equations dx by p is equal to dy by q is equal to dz by r. Then we are applying two methods for finding the independent solutions u is equal to a and v is equal to b. One method is method of grouping and another method is method of multipliers. See what is method of grouping. In the subsidiary equations, if the variables can be separated in any pair of equations, then we get independent solutions of the form u is equal to a and v is equal to b. That means we can form the first solution u is equal to a by grouping dx by p is equal to dy by q, or dy by q is equal to dz by r, or dx by p is equal to dz by r. That means in three sets. Provided whenever we are grouping the first two ratios, you have to note that expression is independent of the third variable. Here what is third variable? Third variable is z. And if you are grouping the second and third ratios, that must be independent of the third variable, say x. If you are grouping dx by p is equal to dz by r, it must be independent of the third variable, say y. So in that pattern, we can find two solutions u is equal to a and v is equal to b from the integrable format. Now method of multipliers. Choose any three multipliers Lmn, where this Lmn may be constants or functions of x, y, z, so that from the given subsidiary equations dx by p is equal to dy by q is equal to dz by r, we can form a fourth ratio ldx plus mdy plus ndz by lp plus mq plus nr. Okay. If it is possible to choose the multiplier Lmn such that Lp plus Mq plus Nr equal to 0, then LDS plus Mdy plus NDZ is also 0. That means whenever the denominator part goes to 0 in the fourth ratio, numerator part also goes to 0. If LDS plus Mdy plus Nd equal to 0 is a perfect differential of some function, say u of x, y, z, then du is equal to 0. And this implies u is equal to constant, and it is a solution. Similarly, for another choice of this Lmn, we can find another independent solution, say v is equal to a constant. So in all the cases, whenever we are choosing these multipliers Lmn, you have to ensure that this denominator part LDS plus MDY plus NDZ goes to 0, and the obtained expression is in a perfect differential format. That means it is the differential of some d of some unknown function, say u, du is equal to 0. Then only we can find u is equal to a constant, or in the format v is equal to a constant. Consider the following first order partial differential equations. Yp minus xq is equal to 0, xp plus yq is equal to z, y square z by xp plus xzq is equal to y square, x square p plus y square q is equal to z square. And we can compare all these first order partial differential equation with the standard Lagrange format, capital P into P plus capital Q into Q is equal to R. And where these capital letters P, Q, R indicates functions of x, y, z are shown in the problem. And we can solve these differential equations by two methods. First of all, writing the subsidiary equations. Subsidiary equation, what are the subsidiary equations? Subsidiary equations are dx by p is equal to dy by q is equal to dz by r. And from the subsidiary equation, we can find two independent solutions. The independent solutions are, say, u is equal to an arbitrary constant, and another independent solution is v is equal to b, where this u and v are functions of x, y, z. And we can determine this u and v from the subsidiary equations by two methods. The first method, as we know, is the method of grouping, and second method is method of multipliers. And we can properly use the grouping method or multiplier method or combination of the two for the determination of two functions u and v. So that is the Lagrange method of solving first order partial differential equations in a prescribed format. We can solve these type problems. That means differential equations of the form capital P into P plus Q into Q is equal to R by using this subsidiary equation, and these equations are known as the Lagrange's first order differential equations. The first problem, solve yp minus sq is equal to 0, and we are identifying this equation is in the format Lagrange format, capital P into P plus Q into Q is equal to R. And comparing with the standard Lagrange format, we can write down the values of the capital P, Q and R. Here capital P, what is capital P? Capital P is the coefficient of the first derivative, say P. Here P is equal to y, and Q is equal to minus x, R is equal to 0. Now writing the subsidiary equation, Lagrange subsidiary equations are subsidiary equations dx by p is equal to dy by q is equal to dz by r. That is, substituting for this capital P, Q and R. Dx by, what is p? P is y. Dx by y is equal to dy by q, that is minus x, is equal to dz by 0. And from these subsidiary equations, we can group the first and second ratio, because the first and second ratio is independent of the third variable. Here the third variable is z. The first and second ratio is containing only x and y. So we can form a separable equation. That means this is in separable format. Dx by y is equal to dy by minus x. That is, dx by y is equal to dy by minus x implies we can separate this equation in the format. After cross multiplication, we get x dx plus y dy is equal to 0. That is an integrable format. So integrating both sides, we get, what is solution? Integral of x dx plus integral y dy is equal to a constant of integration. We call it as some constant, say c1. After integration, this is in a simple standard format. Integral x dx is x square by 2 plus integral y dy y square by 2. That is x square by 2 plus y square by 2 is equal to c1, or this implies x square plus y square is equal to 2c1, or we can call this as an arbitrary constant, say a. That is, this is the form u is equal to x square plus y square is equal to some arbitrary constant. Mark it as equation number 1. So we have obtained one independent solution for the subsidiary equations, and similarly we can obtain another solution by comparing the second and third ratios. Now comparing the second and third ratios, dy by minus x is equal to dz by 0. So we take the second and third ratio part. So that implies dy by minus x is equal to dz by 0. This one cross multiplication implies dz equal to 0. A simple differential equation. So that implies on integration z is equal to a constant, say another constant, say we can substitute another constant as say b, that is we have another independent solution, say v is equal to z, that is equal to b, equation number 2. Now we know that after obtaining two independent solutions u and v, we can write down the general solution, hence the required general solution is an arbitrary function of u comma v is equal to 0. That is f of what is u? U is our x square plus y square, comma v means z is equal to 0, where this f is an arbitrary function. Now see, the general solution contains only one arbitrary function, say f. So the corresponding differential equation is a first order partial differential equation. So the reverse process we have already done. By eliminating this arbitrary function f, we can form the same differential equation, first order differential equation, yp minus xq is equal to 0. Or we can modify this solution in another format also. So this is of the form f of uv is equal to 0, or we can write this in the form u is equal to some function of v, or v is equal to arbitrary function of u. Here it is better to write this z, or we can write the general solution in another format as z is equal to an arbitrary function of x square plus y square, where this phi is an arbitrary function. So this is the second format of writing the same family of solutions, f of x square plus y square comma z equal to 0, where f is an arbitrary function. Or we can represent the same family of surfaces in another format as z is equal to phi of x square plus y square, where phi is an arbitrary function. Consider the second part, that means solve the differential equation xp plus yq is equal to z. Again we are identifying this as a Lagrange first order linear differential equation of the form p into p plus q into q, pp plus q into q is equal to r. By comparing with that Lagrange form, here we can write p is equal to, what is p? P is equal to x, q is equal to y, and r is equal to z. And for solving this differential equation, we require the subsidiary equations. The subsidiary equations, Lagrange subsidiary equations are dx by p, that means dx by p is equal to dy by q is equal to dz by r, that is dx by x is equal to dy by y is equal to dz by z. See, all these format are in separable format. We can pair the first two sets, dx by x is equal to dy by y, that is already in a separable format. If we take the second and third ratio, we get another separable format, dy by y is equal to dz by z. Or similarly, we can take the first and the third. Suppose we are taking the first and the second ratios, that is dx by x is equal to dy by y. So we are grouping the first and the second ratios. So that implies on integrating we get this ratio we get integral dx by x is equal to integral dy by y plus some constant of integration. We know that here what are the integrals? Integral dx by x is log x, so this is log y, so we can write a constant in a logarithmic format, say log a, that is log x equal to log y plus log a, or log x minus log y. What is log x minus log y? That is log of x by y. Log of x by y is equal to log e, take the anti-logarithm or taking the exponential power on both sides. This implies x by y is equal to an arbitrary constant. So x by y is equal to an arbitrary constant is in the format u is equal to s by y equal to a constant. That is u is equal to x by y is a constant, equation number 1. So we get one solution of the form u is a constant, where u means x by y. Now in order to obtain the second independent solution, suppose we are grouping the second and third set, dy by y is equal to dz by z. Now dy by y is equal to dz by z, that is in a separable format, and this one integration will give integral dy by y is equal to integral dz by z, and we can assign a constant in logarithmic format, that is log b. So this implies log y is equal to log z plus log b, or this implies log of y by z is equal to log of b, taking exponential power, y by z is equal to b, that is our v is equal to y by z equal to a constant, equation number 2. And what was our first solution? The first solution is u is equal to, what is u? U is equal to x by y, that is a constant, equation number 1. Hence the general solution is in the form f of uv is equal to 0, where f is an arbitrary function, that is f of x by y, comma y by z is equal to 0, where this f is an arbitrary function. See, this is a familiar one because we have already done this problem. Whenever this arbitrary function of x by y, comma y by z equal to 0, and we are required to compute the corresponding partial differential equation, and we have seen that by eliminating the arbitrary function f from this relation, the corresponding partial differential equation was xp plus yq is equal to z. Now consider the problem y square z by xp plus xzq is equal to y square. This is already in Lagrange format, p into p plus q into q is equal to r. But before comparing with the standard format, it is better to clear this fraction. So we are, first of all, we are multiplying throughout by x. So this implies y square z p plus x square z q is equal to xy square. Now this is in the form p into p plus q into q is equal to r. And comparing with that Lagrange form, here the role of capital P is y square z, capital Q is equal to x square z, and r is equal to x y square. Now what are the subsidiary equations? The Lagrange subsidiary equations are, now we have to check whether the grouping method is possible. If you are taking the first and second ratio, that will contain, at present they contain all the three variables x, y, z. But if we take the first and second ratio, we can eliminate the third variable. So that is equivalent to dx by y square z is equal to dy by x square z, means this is equivalent to the ratio dx by y square is equal to dy by x square. So the first and second ratio is independent of the third variable, so the grouping method is possible. So we will get an integrable format after cross multiplication. So this is equivalent to x square dx minus y square dy equal to 0. So that is an integrable format. Now integrating both sides, we get integral of x square dx minus integral y square dy is equal to a constant of integration, say c1, or this one integration will give x cube by 3 minus y cube by 3 is equal to c1, or this implies x cube minus y cube is equal to 3c1. We can call it as a single arbitrary constant, say a. Now that is in the form u is equal to x cube minus y cube equal to a constant. So this is the first set solution. Question number 1. If we group the second and third ratio, we will get another independent solution, say v. Here we can form one more set. That means if we are equating first and third set, so equating the first and third set, dx by y square z is equal to dz by xy square. So that implies what is a common factor? Common factor is y square in denominator. So this is equivalent to dx by z is equal to dz by x. We can easily arrange this in a separable format. So this is equivalent to x dx minus z dz is equal to 0. On integration we get, integrating both sides, we get integral x dx minus integral z dz is equal to another constant, say c2, that is x square by 2 minus z square by 2 is equal to c2, or x square minus z square is equal to 2c2. We call it as a single arbitrary constant, say b. That is, this solution is in the form v is equal to x square minus z square is equal to another arbitrary constant b, equation number 2. So we have two independent solutions. U is equal to a constant and v is equal to another arbitrary constant. What is u? U is x cube minus y cube, comma v x square minus z square is equal to 0, where this f is an arbitrary function. And the last one is x square p plus y square q is equal to z square. So that is in Lagrange format. So the subsidiary equations are dx by p is equal to dy by q is equal to dz by r. That is dx by x square is equal to dy by y square is equal to dz by z square. That is in a direct separable format. You can take the first and second, second and third, or first and third. So we are looking for two independent solutions. So first of all, we are taking the first and third ratios, first and second ratios. Dx by x square is equal to dy by y square. So that implies on integration will give integral dx by x square. Integral dx by x square is equal to integral dy by y square plus some constant, say c1. So after integration, what is integral dx by x square? This is x raised to minus 2 dx, x raised to minus 1 by minus 1. So this is minus 1 by x is equal to minus 1 by y plus c1, or this implies 1 by x minus 1 by y is equal to some arbitrary constant. We can replace that minus even by some arbitrary constant, say a, or this is in the format u is equal to 1 by x minus 1 by y equal to an arbitrary constant, equation number 1. Similarly, if we take the second and third ratios, we get dy by y square is equal to dz by z square. That is again in direct integrable format, separable form. So this implies on integration, integral dy by y square is equal to integral dz by z square plus another constant, say c2. So this is equivalent to minus 1 by y is equal to minus 1 by z plus c2, or we can simplify this as 1 by y minus 1 by z equal to minus c2. We call it as another arbitrary constant, say b. That is v is equal to 1 by y minus 1 by z is equal to arbitrary constant, say equation number 2. Hence the general solution x minus 1 by y and v 1 by y minus 1 by z is equal to 0, where f is an arbitrary function. So in this problem I want to show you that the family of general solution for a partial differential equation is not unique. That means in this particular partial differential equation, x square p plus y square q is equal to z square, we have formed a general solution in the form f of 1 by x minus 1 by y comma 1 by y minus 1 by z equal to 0, and that solution is obtained by taking the first and second ratio, second and third ratio. And in the same problem, suppose we are taking the first and second ratios and first and third ratios, the solution should have been in the pattern 1 by x minus 1 by y, g of 1 by x minus 1 by y, comma, if you take first and third ratios for the second set of grouping, the solution v will be 1 by x minus 1 by z equal to 0, where g is an arbitrary function. Suppose in these two cases, suppose we are taking this arbitrary function f as taking the sum of this u and v, and also in the same G is equal to sum of u and v. Then what happens? In the general solution of the form f of uv is equal to 0, suppose we take this f of uv is equal to u plus v. F of uv is equal to u plus v, that is equal to 0. Then the solution is 1 by x minus 1 by y plus 1 by y minus 1 by z is equal to 0. That means from the formula of solutions we are fixing one arbitrary function. Here the arbitrary function is taking the sum of the variables u and v. That means this implies 1 by x minus 1 by z equal to 0, or 1 by x equal to 1 by z, or this can be modified in the form z is equal to x. And what is the solution z is equal to x geometrically? It is a plane in 3D. And similarly, in this G format, that means the second set of general solution, G of 1 by x minus 1 by y, 1 by x minus 1 by z equal to 0. Suppose again we are taking this G of uv is equal to 0, where G is an arbitrary function. By fixing this arbitrary function as G of uv is equal to u plus v, then what happens? 1 by x minus 1 by y plus 1 by x minus 1 by z equal to 0. Here no term get cancels, so we have 2 by x minus 1 by y is equal to 1 by z, or taking reciprocal, or z is equal to xy divided by 2y minus x. See, this is an entirely different surface. For the first set, we are fixing the arbitrary function as taking their sum, f of uv is equal to u plus v, we get the solution as z equal to x. In the second set of general solution, where g is an arbitrary function, suppose we are again fixing this g as the same function, say taking sum, that is u plus v, g of u plus v is equal, g of uv is equal to u plus v, that is equal to 0. We will result in a surface of the form z is equal to xy divided by 2y minus x. See, these two surfaces are entirely different, and we can also see that this z is equal to x satisfies this differential equation. What is the partial derivative? Dou z by dou x is 1, and dou z by dou y is equal to 0. So dou z by dou x p is equal to 1, that is x square, plus 0 is equal to z equal to x, that is x square equal to x square becomes an identity. And similarly, if we partially differentiate this z is equal to xy divided by 2y minus x, and after computing dou z by dou x, that is p, dou z by dou y q, and substituting in this relation, we can see that the expression x square plus x square p plus y square q will be equivalent to z square. That means for the same problem, that means for the same first order partial differential equation, we can have two entirely different surfaces. And I will show you what is the nature of this surface z is equal to x and z is equal to x divided by 2y minus x using GeoGebra. See, this is a surface x is equal to z. It's a plane passing through the origin. And for the same problem, we can see another family of surfaces, and one particular family is xy, z equal to xy divided by 2y minus x. See, this is the shape of the surface z is equal to xy divided by 2y minus x. And we can see that for the same problem, we have two entirely different surfaces. Whenever we are choosing the same arbitrary function as adding function, that is f of uv is equal to u plus v.